thing's awesome. Alright, now that I dried her off a little bit, got a bunch of rear axle work and suspension chassis setup to do on this little guy. I actually like the ride height where it's at for street. I would actually take the back end up a little bit if it was mine, but it looks pretty good where it's at. I'll have to see if I can take the front a little bit lower, but with steering, I may not be able to do that. We'll see. It's a pretty cool build, actually. A bump steer. This car is awesome. A little 10 bolt, put a posi in that guy. Nice disc brake conversion. Oh. Well, welcome back to the shop. We got a 67, I believe, a 67. Chevy 2, also known as Nova, which was really the designation for the top of the line 400 model Chevy 2, but this is a really nice specimen for a wagon. The last year for this body style was 1967. It was redesigned in 68 for the Nova. Pretty cool little ride. I'm going to get started on this, do some alignment work, add a posi on it so he can do better burnouts. I got a list of things to do on this Nova 2. I'm going to start with a baseline alignment setup because we're putting lockouts in the suspension adjusters for caster camber, and I can do an initial setup and then I can tear it down for the rear axle work that I'm going to be doing. And at that time I'll put my lockouts in and then I can realign it after I put it all back together. That way I have a little less apart time. At any rate, this is a really nice Nova 2 wagon with small block, automatic trans, a whole bunch of CPP. Is it CPP? Custom Parts Performance. Is that what it is? I don't remember. I gotta look that up. It is CPP. Classic Performance Products. Oh, there you go, that's better. Everything comes in with so many different things. I'm not really sure what I'm working on anymore. Oh, golly, this thing's tight. Well, I like this color. Good looking car. That's ugly. Let's get this down to a baseline. That's not going to be right. bet I'm going to have to reclock this steering wheel. That stinks. That is so far out, we're going to resweep, recomp, and then resweep. You know what, we can play with bump steer a little bit before we do that. I was adding extra shim or extra shims so that I can take it apart without getting into the nylock a bunch of times. Lift. Going negative 2.2 negative. I think that's better than it was before. Let's try it again. That's not bad. That's a ½ degree tow out. We're getting closer. Take one more shim out of the top. Slinging shims. This is where we are currently. But I actually need to recomp and redo my caster sweep to verify. But on lift, I'm going negative 0.55 degrees. Actually, more like negative 6.5 degrees. So we're at 0.12, 0.15. All we're worrying right now is what tow is doing. That's acceptable, so I will cut that shim in half and we'll probably be perfect. So on lift, now I'm positive, but I'm positive quite a bit, so I can cut that shim in half and we'll probably be in an exceptional spot. A full degree tow in is better than any degree tow out. Rod lengths are within 1/8, I'm cool with that. Let's go ahead and do our recomp so that's done. And then we can drop our $500 impact on the floor. Oops. my recomp's not too bad. I'm showing a lot different numbers than I was before, which is why I do recomps. So I'm going to reduce my caster here. I'm going to reduce my camber there. I want to see a degree negative, and I'd like to see 4.5 degrees caster, and then toe where it needs to be when I'm all said and done. Just doing old school alignments today. Did a cool G-body earlier today. You'll probably see that video before this one, but it was a pretty cool car. Nice guy too. That's all I got there. Not adjust. Well, that's good for the lockout. And I've got a 1/2 degree side to side to play with, so I like that for our lockout setup. Okay. Reset our toe. Whenever you make adjustments to caster, you have to re-sweep your caster to verify. It's looking pretty good. Let's see if it holds with the recomp. Ooh, that's pretty acceptable for our preliminary. We're a 10th cross camber, we're a 10th cross caster, our toes out nice and clean. That should do really well. And on lift we're towing in a little over 1/2 degree, which I'll cut that in half with a 1/2 of the shim that I just switched out. So let's move on to the rear end. I got a bunch of other stuff to do this thing. I like those wheels. Good, I have a depth measurement. That makes my life easy. When your ring gear has a depth measurement on it, it makes the installer's life much easier. That's an install kit. This is an install kit with all the bearings. And a crush sleeve shim kit, so you use that instead of a crush sleeve. I always use crush sleeves, but this is like a good way to pick your pocket for probably $40. It's not needed, but some people prefer that method. Got a True Track. Got some vitamins from Walgreens. So instead of being adjustable, they want to have me install these lockouts. These lock the suspension in place. That's some extra shims. Probably for finite adjustments on the uppers. Shouldn't need that because it's already in the oil. And they were non-synthetic GL5. I think we got everything to move forward. $2.541. Well, that wraps up today for me. I've got to head home and take care of my kiddos. This one, the initial chassis setup went pretty smooth. I still have to set cow tracks, but I'll do that in the end after I've done the rear gears and posi. This was going over to where the 84 Mustang is sitting. I've got to find the right solid brass plugs for that thing because I've got a really badly misdrilled hole that I need to repair. So I'm going to push the 84 four-eyed Mustang outside, put this over there so I can do the rear gears tomorrow. And and I'll put the adjustment cam lockouts on over there. And once those are on, it'll come back over to this rack for final alignment and setting up the cow track. So it'll probably be where we drop this one off. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.